Fantasy freaks and geeks, what's up? Good morning to everybody out there. I just grabbed my coffee here, but I hope everyone's doing well. I see some folks got some questions already, man, and I don't blame you, man. We are on the brink of the playoffs right now, and man, we're just trying to get ready, or at least some of us are. Can I just say I am embarrassingly not in that many playoffs this year, man. It must be some kind of karma deal too, because I tell you, last year I was on fire, bro. Like, I think I was in like eight leagues last year. It's probably in 8 leagues that I actually kept track of. I think I made the playoffs in every single one of them. I made the finals in like 5. So man, yeah. I don't know what's going on this year, man. I'll tell you what's going on. Injuries is what's going on. Oh my God. Holy shit. Injuries have been brutal this year for your boy. Anyways, but it's all good. I'm here to help, hopefully, anyways. And we're getting ready here for week 14. Big slate in front of us here today, man. We got 4 teams on a bye. We got everybody injured or on COVID. It's crazy right now. It's crazy in the fantasy streets right now. It's just utter madness. And it couldn't have come at a worse time either, right? I mean, we're getting ready for the playoffs. A lot of you folks are win and get in, which I get, man. So let's try to help the folks out there. Hey, good morning to everybody out there. Clark Schuyler, man. Is it week 14 already? I know. In years past, we'd already be in the playoffs, bro. So there you go. You need 2 of 3. Chuba versus Atlanta. Javonte versus, well, you're playing with Javonte. That's 100%. So just put that one in there. And Hilliard versus Jacksonville. The Hilliard one is interesting because he's running really well. He looks like a really good player. But I think they've got a 3-headed committee over there. In Tennessee. I think that's what they got on tap here. I probably trust Chuba a little bit more. Remember, the coaching staff said that they wanted to run the ball more. That's why they let go of their offensive coordinator. If that's actually true, you got to think that Chuba's going to get the ball. And the thing is, too, you know, I know Amir Abdullah, we're talking about Amir Abdullah in the year 2021. Amir Abdullah looks like he has a little bit more juice than Chuba. But that being said, Chuba is the better, I would say, between the tackles runner. I don't know if that's saying much because we're talking about Amir Abdullah here, but here we are. Sony or Javonte, Marcus Aguilar. Good morning to you, Marcus. I like both a lot. I do. I think with hold on. Somebody brought up a very good point, right? Like, Darrell Henderson's out with COVID. Is Sony going to get banged on a close contact, dude? Like, how crappy would that be? It's possible. It's very possible. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But it's Sunday and we haven't heard anything yet. But man, sometimes that stuff does come down late, which stinks, right? Hold on. Let me pull up some numbers here for you guys. Let me pull up some numbers because I got them. I got them numbers, bro. Looking at them numbers all week. I like both, man, and I wish I could tell you definitively one or the other. If you wanted to play it safe, I mean, obviously go Javonte. Sorry, just still wiping some sleep out of my eyes, man. It's still 7:30 here on the West Coast. I woke up about an hour ago, so there you go. Yeah, if you want to play it safe, go Javonte. I think Sony does give you some upside, though. It's supposed to be a high-scoring game. And like I said, against Arizona, Arizona's been giving up a ton of production to running backs. I'm sorry, a ton of, like, per-carry production, I should clarify. Because actually, randomly, they're actually pretty good. Middle of the road, 16th most fantasy points, so just smack dab in the middle to running backs. But here's the thing, man, like, about Arizona's run defense. It's not very good. Like, you watch them on film, it's not very good. They allow 4.66 yards per carry to running back. That's the 3rd worst in the NFL, so that lines up with what you're kind of watching on screen. And then, you know, they have allowed the 3rd most receptions to running backs as well. So you're wondering, like, okay, well, how are they doing the 3rd worst yards per carry average? How are they allowing the 3rd most receptions to running back, and yet they're only giving up the 16th most fantasy points? Well, it's touchdowns. They've only given up 5 total touchdowns to the running back position, and I'll tell you why. It's pretty simple. The 5 touchdowns, by the way, the 2nd fewest in the freaking NFL. Only the New England Patriots have given up fewer touchdowns to the running back position, which is just crazy. Like you watch Arizona, you're thinking, are you looking at Arizona and thinking, yeah, this is a New England level running defense? Nah, nah, man. That's not what you're seeing on screen. Now, the reason for that is you got to think about game script. These guys have been up double digits in a lot of games, man. So running backs really haven't had an opportunity against Arizona, but when they do, they're ripping off chunk plays. So to me, I feel like, okay, Arizona is a defense that you can run on. By the way, that could be something that bangs them in the playoffs too. But yeah, that's kind of what I see, and I know Sony, should get like 99% of the workload. So I tell you what, if you're chasing upside, give me Sony. So if you want a big number, throw Sony in there. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my takes. Sorry, man. Like I know this is a tough one. It's a very tough one. But yeah, I would, if this was me personally, I would just play Sony and just say, screw it. Give me the most points possible. So that would be my thing. By the way, man, if it's a first time for you guys here, please like and subscribe, man. That would be cool. I would appreciate that. Again, we do this every single week. If you go through my channel, obviously I provide a little bit of content there as well. Every single week, I'm going to give you guys a skit. Every single week, I'm going to be doing one of these, YouTube, chats too, man. So, man, just if you guys would subscribe, man, that would be super awesome and help me quite a bit. So that'd be dope. All right. Good morning to you, pal. Lamar or Cam Newton in PPR? Look, I know Lamar's been a disappointment in recent weeks, but let's stick with him. You know what I mean? The weather there, I know, is not supposed to be ideal. Cam Newton does have a much better matchup against Atlanta, but it's so hard, man. Like Lamar could break off a 50-point game at any time, and the other thing about Cam, he could get benched at any time. Look what happened in his last game. Dude got freaking benched. That could happen again. And the coaching staff said they're open to that. They're open to working in PJ Walker, right? So, and they're not going to do that in Baltimore. I mean, barring an injury, Lamar's not getting benched, dude. Lamar's going to be out there every single play, even in garbage. They could be down 40. Lamar's going to be out there running around, getting you fantasy points. So give me Lamar. Higher upside, higher floor. When we start talking about median, they're about the same too, man. So, yeah, it's Lamar for me. So there you go. Slagan, hey, good morning to you, pal. What's going on? Trying to hang on to the final playoff spot in 2 leagues, Lamar or Stafford? Ooh, see, now this one's a tough one. Godwin or Jeff Wilson Jr.? Godwin as in what? Igwebuike? Godwin Igwebuike? Iggy? Let's just call him Iggy. Guys, help me out. Let's just call this dude Iggy. And I will know. And I'll know you're not talking about Andre Iguodala. All right. Godwin Igwebuike? Or are we talking about Chris Godwin? I don't know. I know a Chris Godwin versus Jeff Wilson question seems crazy. I've seen crazier questions. So I need a little bit of info there. Trying to hang on to the final 2 play. Lamar or Stafford? Ooh. Oh, Stafford's, from a real life perspective, has been struggling a little bit. Lamar has definitely been struggling. I'll give you guys a crazy Baltimore stat, which will not make you feel great. Baltimore has failed to reach 20 points in 5 of their last 6 games, including 4 games in a row. The weather there in Cleveland is bad, a lot of wind. So I'm not anticipating a lot of deep moon shots, which is a big way that Lamar does get points. The guy that I just told to play Lamar over Cam is like, what are you talking about, dude? You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. I'm just saying, on the ground, okay? Let's talk about on the ground here, okay? Lamar's going to get you some ground points in a bad weather game, I would imagine. But there is some high winds and stuff there in Cleveland. So the passing game will not be on point. By the way, on the other side of that, see, you would want Baltimore in a high-scoring game, but the over-under is at 42, right? So, and I actually picked the under on that. I actually got a little cash on the under on the 42, because not only has Baltimore failed to reach 20 points in 5 of their last 6 games, the Browns have scored 17 or fewer points in 6 of their last 7 games, and we know why. Baker's running out there with one arm. You know what I'm saying? I like the running assets for the Browns in this one. Not so much for Baltimore. Browns have a great run defense. But yeah, the Cleveland run at. I think you could play Kareem Hunt. I got a cool stat for Kareem Hunt too. I know he was terrible the last time he was out there against this very same Baltimore team, and I'm telling you. It's like, oh, what's the definition of insanity? Just keep doing the same thing, and expecting different results. That's literally what I'm telling you to do right now. Kareem Hunt just played Baltimore in his last game, and he got 2 fantasy points. But I'm telling you, running him out there again. In his previous 5 games as a backup, okay, so we're talking about weeks 1 through 5, Kareem Hunt averaged 18.5 PPR points per game. Think about that. 18.5 point PPR points per game as a backup. He's going to be a backup again, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Oh my God, can I get situated here? I'm like just uncomfortable with this whole seat. Okay, now we're good. Jesus. Yeah, no, he averaged 18.5 points PPR points per game as a backup. Okay, so by the way, $5,600 on DK this week. I think he's a pretty good value, and probably somebody a lot of folks aren't playing because the over-under's low, and because he just gave you 2 points against this very same Baltimore team last week. By the way, can I just say, NFL schedule makers, it's not that fucking hard. If I'm a Cleveland fan, I'm pissed, right? I'm like, hey, we literally just played this team. Why are we playing this team 2 games in a row? It doesn't make any sense. NFL schedule, it's not, your job's not that hard. They make it seem like it's harder than it's not that hard. Do you remember last year when they were trying to reschedule games? Like, oh well, if this team gets knocked out with COVID, then we're just going to do this game and move this game. Clearly, it's not that hard. Clearly, it's not that. You're literally changing the schedule in 24 hours. And yet, you sit there and you give oh man, I got some things going down here. And you give Cleveland back-to-back games against Baltimore. Come on, dude. Come on. Figure this out, man. Figure this out. Okay. Long way. This is me realizing that I'm completely off track here, going down a rabbit hole for no reason. Lamar or Stafford? Okay, give me Stafford in potentially a much higher scoring game. I think that game's going to cross the 50s. This game will barely cross the 40s. So you're at least exposing yourself to a little bit more touchdown upside. The bad weather, obviously, makes me feel not as great about that as well. Dan Haas, good morning to you, pal. I see you, man. So there you go. And yes, fantasy football. Good morning. I say good morning to fantasy football every morning. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Bruce Mamba Lee, what's going on, dude? Good morning to you. We need a Back to the Future theme fantasy. Dude, I did that actually. We've done that before. I don't know if I've posted it on my YouTube. I may have, but we've done that before. Listen, man, this is year number 4 for your guy. I've run through a lot of parodies, dude. I've run through a lot of videos. I've run through a lot of skits. Hey, listen, I tell you what, next year we might bring it back though, because I think I want to say we did that my first year here. So it's been a few years. As crazy as that is, I can't believe we're about to complete year number 4, which is just, oh my gosh. Wow. What a run it's been here at DirecTV, man. It's been cool. By the way, if you guys have DirecTV, channel 704, catch us at starting at 9:40 a.m. Pacific time. Best fantasy show on the planet. It's called Fantasy Zone, DirecTV channel 704. Go check us out. Hey, I'm not kidding you either, too. Like, you guys know I've been in the fantasy space a long ass time. I've been working in television for, golly, I don't know, 15 years. I've been working in fantasy television for almost 10, right? This is the best fantasy show on TV. This is the best fantasy show on TV. Period. No disrespect to anybody else's fantasy show, but this is the best fantasy show on TV. Period. And I can say that with confidence. All right. Hey, and not just because I'm on it, but hey, I don't bring the product down. I'm just saying. All right. Terrence Mitchell. Not to be confused with Terrace Mitchell. Carr or Heineke? Oh, tough one. You know what? Actually, not that tough. Go Derek Carr. Taking on KC. And even though KC's pass defense has been better than advertised, let's just say, I think Carr is actually, I know he's a quarterback. I think he's a quarterback 18, if I'm not mistaken, in per game scoring. But Kansas City, hold on, I got it for you. Kansas City, they allow the fourth most fantasy points per game to the quarterback position. Derek Carr, believe it or not, I believe Derek Carr is second in the NFL in passing yards. The crazy thing is, I think Tom Brady's number one, but he also has double the amount of touchdowns as Derek Carr. But I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I'll look up the over-under. Hold on now. I got it here for you. The early week over-under was 48.5. Hey, James. What's up?
Always in here.
No.
Okay, there might be a meeting in here.
In like what? In like how long? In like 5 minutes?
Real soon.
Real soon. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. They said, yeah, it's my boss.
Oh, I got you. We can move. Can I go to this? Can I go to this conference room over here?
Let me go and see if I can find out which one they're asking me to use. Are you on the air right now?
Yeah, we're streaming. It's just
Okay.
YouTube. It's all good.
All right.
Buddy, that was my boss. You guys got a little sneak peek at that one, dude. That was hilarious. He's telling me I gotta jet out of here, bro. 7:54. Dude, I want to keep going though. I've only been on air for 17 minutes. Come on, dude. What's going on? Go Derek Carr on this one. I'm gonna try to rip through some of these, and just in case I do get kicked out of here. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Because I'm mobile, baby. We're mobile up in this joint, so I'm not worried about it. I am worried about my coffee though, getting cold. Landry, Jeff Wilson, or Cortland Sutton, half PPR. I don't like Landry. I'll tell you that. Not with broken arm Baker. That's for sure. Give me Jeff Wilson Jr., man. Again, I give you my stat on Jeff Wilson Jr. I got it here for you. Jeff Wilson Jr. Where are we at? Jeff Wilson Jr. Come on, go. All right, here we go. Jeff Wilson Jr. Over his last four starts dating back to last year, so this year and last year, he has averaged 117.5 total yards on 21 touches per game. That's a ton of volume for him. I think this week it will be a little bit less with JaMychal Hasty running there with him, as well. He has scored 6 touchdowns in those 4 games as well. So they put him in his position to succeed to San Francisco. So I would feel very confident about Jeff Wilson Jr. there. Fantasy football, observing me not doing your best on DirecTV Sunday football. I don't know what that means. Is that a shot at me? What are we talking about here? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Strong Style, what's going on, dude? Love to see you. You love the Fantasy Cops? Yo, Fantasy Cops was fun to shoot, man. That was pretty good. Clark Schuyler, 2 of 3. Mike Evans versus Buffalo, Lockett versus Houston, or Terry McLaurin. Oh, my gosh. Wow. What a list. I would go Mike Evans and Terry McLaurin. I think higher scoring affairs. Lockett is up and down. Mike Evans, I think, is going to be good with Tre'Davious White out, and Terry McLaurin, a high-scoring game against Dallas, I think is actually decent. Scorpion, should it stick with Foster Moreau or go Evan Ingram or Gerald Everett? Nah, stick Foster Moreau, man. Stick with Foster Moreau. You're good there. Again, a higher scoring game against Kansas City. I think you at least have some touchdown upside. And I've advocated for Evan Engram before, but he's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what the deal is with him and Gerald Everett is. Like, who cares? Strong style again. PPR flex. Kareem Hunt, Jeff Wilson Jr., or Jalen Guyton. I think you can go Kareem Hunt. Go Kareem Hunt there. I like the upside for Jeff Wilson Jr., but I like the upside for Jalen Guyton too, to be honest with you. But I kind of sort of like the floor that Kareem Hunt gives you. And quite honestly, should he score a touchdown, I think his upside is just as high as any of these other dudes, to be honest. So there you go. Thoughts on Aaron Jones versus A.J. Dillon, or A.J. Dillon versus Chicago? You've got both. Who should you start? You want to start one in the one. You want to start one and start the other in the flex. I think that's okay. What is it? Green Bay's a double-digit. Oh, until noon. So I'm good. Awesome. Thanks, man. That was my boss. Tell me I'm good till noon. I'm not going to be here till noon. Hopefully not. We'll be on air by then. So there you go. Thoughts on Aaron Jones Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I like both. I'll be honest with you. In a vacuum, you're obviously playing Aaron. Well, first of all, you're playing Aaron Jones regardless. The question just becomes whether or not you're going to play A.J. Dillon with Aaron Jones in the flex, right? And I would. Again, double-digit favorite. Both these guys are going to get some work. Now, let me also say it limits your upside, right? Like you can't reasonably expect both guys to get 20, right? So knowing that, like, how do you play that? Are you going to be okay with one guy giving you 18 and another guy giving you 12? Maybe they gave you 30 total. Maybe one guy gives you 30 and another guy gives you 5. Are you okay with that combination? But the bottom line is you're limiting your upside, right? Like, both guys aren't going to give you 20. It's almost impossible for that to happen. Now, Devontae Adams is going to be out there, catch a ball. Like, it's just not going to happen, right? So, if you're okay with a limited upside, yeah, I'm okay with playing both. But if you want to just get maximum points, no, you can't do that. And if you're not going to do that, play Aaron Jones. Play Aaron Jones if you're picking one of the two there. All right. Crowder or Hilliard? I kind of sort of like Crowder. I got to be honest with you. And I got a good stat on Crowder too. Over the last 8 weeks, the Saints have allowed the 4th most yards to inside receivers. And the 10.5 yards per target over the last 8 weeks to slot receivers. That's the 3rd most in the NFL. Really good start for Jamison Crowder. We also know they have no receiving options. Keelan Cole's probably going to get some work. Oh, my God. Can we finally see a little Denzel Mims? Probably not. That's okay. That's all right. No, not a big deal. But Jamison Crowder, I think, is a great sleeper. I think he gives you a way safer floor. This is PPR too, right, Nolan? Let me know. I think that if it's PPR for sure, let's go Jamison Crowder there, okay? Going back to your earlier question, yeah, we're talking Iggy, right? Earlier question. Hold on, let me find your question. It was Godwin. Yeah, so Iggy versus Jeff Wilson Jr. Give me Jeff Wilson Jr. There you go. Question is, will Iggy pop? Yes, love it. Hell yeah. There you go. Yeah, bro. Sometimes I drop an F-bomb. You know what's funny? In my real life, I curse like crazy. I've had to dial that down with kids now. But bro, I cuss a lot in my real life. You would think like, hey, TV dude, like he's probably not. No, it's bad. It's real bad. Now, I have had to tone that down with my kids, man. Tough matchup this week. Looking for upside. Gallup, Marquise Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Julio. If you are looking straight for upside, it's Michael Gallup. Again, the wins there in Cleveland. Should I look this up? Let me look this up for you guys, man, before I start talking here. Cleveland weather forecast. We got it. Okay. Yep, high winds today. High winds today. Yeah, 18 mile per hour winds, wind gusts up to 25 mile per hour. So we've got some wind out there. Other than that, it's supposed to be sunny and nice. Other than the freaking wind, it's 39 degrees there currently. Feels like 27. I should have been a weatherman. No, but yeah, bad weather there. Marquise Brown, I think you could still play him in redraft. I'm definitely not playing him in DFS. And if you're looking for straight up upside, give me Michael Gallup. I'll give you a stat. Michael Gallup takes on Washington. Washington has been one of the worst defenses, not only against wide receivers, as we know, but also against deep passes. Over the last 8 weeks, they've allowed the fourth most fantasy points on deep passes, the fourth most yards on deep passes, 19.8 yards per target. Okay, almost 20 yards a target on deep passes this year, or excuse me, over the last 8 weeks. That's the second most in the NFL. They've allowed a 64% completion rate the last 8 weeks on deep passes. That's the worst in the NFL. By the way, on deep passes, like league average is around like 34%. So they're giving up double that. 64% completion rate on deep passes. Oh my goodness. By the way, if you do have Amari, if you've got CD Lamb, obviously fire them the hell up. So yeah, I think that's the call for me. So there you go. Yeah, man. Buys through week 14. Like last year, we're talking fantasy playoffs. Can you imagine if they had they had bye weeks for the fantasy playoffs? Like what? What's going on here, bro? Nikhil Patel, Brandon Ayuk, or James Robinson as a flex. Bro, the injury concerns me for James Robinson. It seems like he's been dealing with it. And it seems like they're a little bit more comfortable working in Carlos Hyde too. I don't know. The injury does concern me. Hold on. Let me look up this Jacksonville spread though. What's the Jacksonville spread at? Let me stall here. Why can't I find it? Oh my gosh. Well, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Dum. There it is. They're a 9.5 point dog. So it's not a very good game script, obviously, for the running backs. So give me Brandon Ayuk. I know. Anytime you play Brandon Ayuk, it's scary as hell. Debo's back, but whatever. Debo's back. I don't know. Whatever that means. Brandon Ayuk, I think, I know he's very up and down. Very up and down. But yeah, I think that's the play. Ugh, I don't feel great about that. I don't feel great about giving you that advice though. I really don't. You know what? James Robinson, if you want floor, if you want a little bit of floor, I'm assuming this is PPR. Everyone plays PPR now. If you want a little floor, give me James Robinson. Brandon Ayuk's that upside play, man, but golly, it's awfully tough to trust. Anyways, so there you go. I know I didn't help you at all. Nikhil, my bad, dude. I know I didn't help you at all. I just said Brandon Ayuk with no confidence, and then I'm like, oh, James Robinson for floor. Man, I'm sorry, dude. That's a tough question, though. John Yee, good morning to you, pal. You need one, half PPR. Sony, Foreman. Nah, get rid of Foreman. What's he doing in that group? Nah, dude, it's Sony. Come on, dude. That's an easy one. Week 14 buys, RBS. There's going to be week 15 buys next year. Dude, seriously, right? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Dan, you feel me with the schedule makers, dude? The football team, they play the Cowboys, Eagles to end the season. It's like, what are you guys doing? Schedule make your job's not that hard, bro. Like schedule this out better. What is going like that's a terrible schedule. How do you look at that and be like, job done. We did it. We did it, everybody. We just made the schedule. Like, golly. I mean, at this point, just put them in a randomizer. Like literally just put those 32 names in a randomizer and just randomize my list. Like it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. And bring back Mad Fantasy. Dude, we need to bring back Mad Fantasy. I love Mad Fantasy. Yeah, I feel like, you know what, though? The thing with Mad Fantasy, I love Mad Fantasy every single time I do it. Love it. I love writing it. I love doing it. I love everything about Mad Fantasy. I feel like, though, there's some Mad Fantasy fatigue. Like maybe people are a little over it. Anyways, hey, man, I'm running out of time. Oh, my gosh. Fantasy Zone is the best. Okay, I appreciate that, Clark. Johannes? Janice? Sanchez? I don't know. What are we saying all man to? Sleek. I love that. Sleek. What a logo, too. That's dope. Half PPR. Foster Moreau, Hooper. Hooper's literally the last man standing. They don't have another healthy tight end. Harrison Bryant, David Njoku, they're out. Hooper's the only guy left. How many times are they going to throw the ball, though? That's my question. Like, they might throw the ball 25 times. Does Hooper see 5 targets? I will go with Moreau. Better offense. Better offense. I don't say that with confidence, though. Let me check one thing before I give you the definitive. Oh, man. All right. Flip it. Let's go Austin Hooper. Last man standing in Cleveland. They can't throw downfield because of the wind, right? Some checkdowns I think might be available for Hooper. Baltimore has given up the 3rd most fantasy points per game to the tight end position. They've given up 7 touchdowns, which I believe is tied for the 4th most in the NFL. So you're getting a little bit of touchdown upside with Hoop. So yeah, give me Hooper. God, I suck at this sometimes. But hey, listen, sometimes I get these questions, man, and I'm just like, yo, these questions are tough, man. These questions are tough. Celebs, they're just like us. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Are they? Give us a tour of the studio. I could do that, but maybe another time, dude. Oh, DJ Spar. Yep, that's right. Double cameo by the boss. You know it. The boss needs to give some fantasy advice. Oh, my gosh. Yes, absolutely. Mike Davis revenge game. Didn't you watch the piece, bro? Didn't you watch the piece? You get arrested by the fantasy cops. You play Mike Davis, dude. Come on, man. So there you go. All right. Nolan, yes, PPR. Leaning Crowder too. All right, there you go. Cool, man. Strong style. You know what the deal is, dude. Asian parents, man, cussing it up. There you go. All right, so yeah, there you go. This is my last question, man, and then I got to peace out, dude. I am running a little bit late, man. It's all good though. Good morning question. Would you rather flex MVS against Chicago, Dontrell Hilliard versus Jacksonville? MVS. I think MVS gives you some upside, man. Like, I know his floor sucks, but I would go MVS. No Randall Cobb, opens up a little bit of target share, I think. And then maybe over the top, Chicago's been pretty bad. Jalen Johnson doesn't travel, but the other corner stinks. And they've just been getting gashed. Jalen Johnson's great. Still a very good player. Obviously was better last year with a better pass rush, but whatever. Still a really good player. But overall, the Chicago secondary is pretty bad. I like the touchdown upside for MVS this week. All right, in your other league, would you flex James Robinson versus Tennessee or Sony Michel? Oh, it's Sony Michel. Come on, dude. Darrell Henderson's out. Sony Michel, it's like all in. We're all in on Sony Michel. The only thing that worries me is that he gets ruled out by close contact with Darrell Henderson or something. That would suck. Anyways, dude. Hey, listen. Hey, y'all. I appreciate everybody running through here, man. We got another few weeks of this, dude. So there you go. I hope you guys all make the playoffs. Hopefully, I helped you. And I tell you what, we'll be back next week with the playoff edition. of this show, which would be great. So there you go. Hey, listen, I hope everyone does well out there. But for now, I got to peace out. Be sure to check out DirecTV Channel 704, Fantasy Zone. If you have other fantasy questions, obviously hit me up on Twitter, and we will get you going there, man. So, hey, and by the way, like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel, man. We appreciate that. Check out the latest edition of Fantasy Cops. I know it's really funny. It's actually a pretty good one. Full episode or full Fantasy Cops skit there on the YouTube channel, which you won't find on Twitter, which is cool, man. So there you go. AJ Flores, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and watched the stream. We'll be back next week. In the interim, good luck here in week number 14. I hope you guys all make the playoffs. Find me on Twitter. I will chat with you guys there. Peace.